What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another Read Aloud by Coach T. Today I'll be reading Grumpy Monkey Up All Night by Suzanne Langan, illustrated by Max Lane. Early in the evening, just about supper time, Norman heard a whole lot of whooping and hollering next door. He wondered who it was. Norman's eyes became big when he suddenly saw something that he was not expecting. "What's the ruckus?" Norman asked his neighbor Chimpanzee. "I'm so excited," Jim exclaimed. "I'm going to a sleepover at my parents' house. My whole family will be there, Mom, Dad, and my big sisters, Ann and Nan." "Who's that?" asked Norman. "Ignore the picture in their faces. That's just how they are. They're really great people, though." "Oh yeah, my little brother Tim," grumbled Jim. "But never mind, it'll still be fun. Sleepovers are a good time," Norman agreed. Jim talked about all the great things he would do. "First, we'll go termite fishing. Next, we'll tell scary stories. Then we'll have a midnight feast, and you know that I like to eat. And wash it down with some jungle punch." "I wouldn't drink punch too close to bedtime," Norman advised. "Bedtime!" exclaimed Jim. "Nobody sleeps at a sleepover. We're going to stay up all night and party, party, party." "Sounds fun," said Norman. "Mind if I tag along?" "Only if you're fun, Norman, okay?" A little later, they arrived at the tree where Jim's parents lived. "It's my little grumpy monkey," Jim's mom cried as she gave him a hug. "Come here. I'm so happy to see you." "Mom," moaned Jim. "I'm not little, and I'm not a monkey. I'm an ape." Jim's mom smiled and ruffled his fur. "But you sure are grumpy," she said. "No, I'm not," Jim scowled. "I like your mom," said Norman. "What's going on, Norman? Welcome to the party." "No fair. You didn't say we could bring a friend," said a voice coming down the path. "Who's that?" asked Norman. "Timmy Tim Tim, what's going on?" exclaimed Jim's family. "I thought you said he was your little brother," said Norman. "I had a growth spurt," said Tim. "What's the move? What should we do first?" asked Jim's mom. Everyone answered at once. "Termite fishing, pick fleas off each other, bob for mangoes." "I know," said Tim. "Measure each other to see who's tallest." "Maybe our guest should choose," suggested Jim's dad, turning to Norman. "It's a tough decision," said Norman. "It all sounds fun." "Don't worry," said Ann. "There'll be plenty of time to do everything because we're going to stay up all night," cheered Jim and his siblings. "I don't know," said Jim's mom. "Staying up all night could make for some very grumpy monkey." And then the games began. The first game was termite fishing. Norman and Jim were a couple of average Joes, but Jim's family, they were pros. Another termite all in my belly, in my belly. "Jim and Norman, you guys got to get your weight up, man." "Ooh, it's nothing better than to pick a flea." "Ooh, right there, right there. Ooh, that's the spot. Ooh, you got one right there. Ooh. "Thanks a lot, Mango Boy. You done took all the mangoes," said Jim. "Norman, save some mangoes for us." The next game was scary stories. "It was a dark and stormy night," said Jim. Tim trembled. "Your brother's scared," said Jim's mom. "Why not tell a happy story instead?" Next event was the midnight feast, Jim's favorite. "Hey, you have to share the jungle punch for everyone." "But you didn't share the banana, so why should I have to share with you?" The next event was to stay up all night. "It's really dark," said Tim, looking around. "Because it's night," snapped Jim. "Are you grumpy?" asked Tim. "No," said Jim. Just then they heard a noise. "Roar! Thunder!" shouted Tim, and his eyes went wide. "Oh no, it's dark and stormy." "Don't worry," said Jim. "It's just Norman snoring. He does a lot of funny snores. Sometimes it sounds like rah, 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 rah. And sometimes it sounds like psh, 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 psh. Ha, ha, ha." Tim laughed. "Other times it's like ha-wee, ha-wee." Jim and Tim laughed ha, 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 and laughed all night long. One thing about Norman, he gonna get his sleep in. Shoo-hoo. You'll always be my grumpy monkey, whispered Jim's mom. Phew. The end.